Hi, I'm your host, Jade.
And I'm your host, Emma.
And welcome to Lashing Out and Nailing Life. Today's episode, we're going to be focusing on our goals for 2025 because we had somebody comment that they'd be interested to know what we're aiming to do this year.
Yeah, what our goals are going to be. So, I don't know. I have mainly more, I think, personal goals than business goals because I did so much last year that the only thing I really need to focus on for my business this year is just like, now that we have the podcast, I want to make sure that we have a schedule for that. And then getting back into remembering to take pictures because I only have like 2 pictures right now. So things like that. But I think you have more business goals than I do. So
I think I have like 10 personal and 10 business goals for this year, which sounds like a lot, but there's 365 days and 12 months. So even if I do like one business goal and one personal goal a month, we'll be good.
yeah.
So I guess I'll start with my business goals and get those out of the way so that then we can talk about our personal goals together. Business goals wise, I want to post consistently on social media, which I can learn from Emma because she's a lot better at that than I am. So I'm just going to take your advice on planning out content for the entire week and probably aiming to post 4 times a week on my feed to start with, and then maybe confidently get up to 5 or 6.
But I don't even post every day.
No.
I looked at which I can show you how to find this too if you don't know where it is. In your Instagram Insights, it tells you the days your followers are the most active.
Okay.
And then I picked 3, like the top 3, because when I was posting every day, I was noticing how some of my posts were like, oh, that one got 8 likes. But then the one post on a day where it's just I have 10 more followers online, that one got 30.
Okay. Yeah.
So you probably don't even have to do.
It just needs to be
4
posting
is probably enough.
a good, yeah. And then I want to post consistently on my story too, because I know if I'm constantly up there, like posting 3 to 4 times a day is the minimum. And then I want to attend 3 networking events a month and hand out 10 business cards at each event. Although I recently switched to, I have business cards, but I also switched to the dot card and wristband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I invested in the card and the wristband. So I have a little, it looks like a Fitbit. So my goal is to either hand out a business card or give my contact information. And the nice thing about those, if anybody is looking into it, is once they tap their phone to it, there's actually an exchange contact or save contact. And if they exchange contact, they put in their name, their phone number, and their email address. And that means I automatically have a contact for them. Because I think the biggest hiccup with handing out just a business card is, yes, they have your contact information. 9 times out of 10, I find people don't use it though.
Yeah.
So
business
I'm thinking
cards are hit or miss.
Yeah, I'm thinking the dot card will be more beneficial because if the majority of people hit the exchange contact, I'll get their information. I want to do 4 model sets a month. So if anybody's interested in being a model for me, now's the time to DM me. I'm going to get a form set up on my Instagram for people to fill out if they want to be a model, and then I'll reach out to people accordingly. I want to do 4 branding shoots this year because I didn't do any last year.
That's so many.
I kind of want to do 1 a season. So I'll do a spring one, I'll do a summer one, I'll do an autumn one, and then I'll do a winter one.
I've heard that's what you're supposed to do, especially if you're someone like me who changes their hair all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll be lucky if I get a new one this year.
Yeah, so I want to do 4 branding shoots, and for those I'll need models, and then I want to get new headshots this year. I want to redesign my website because if anybody goes to my website, not my booking website, but my website, it's all my old branding, which is now a 1.5 years old. So that needs redoing, but my first step is to redo my studio, and that's getting completed at the end of January, so that's exciting.
Nice.
And then I want to host a lash artist and esthetician event, which I've been talking to my friend Jess about, and I think we might co-host one, so that'll be exciting. And then I want to just become my brand, so I want to post more content of me because I feel like my face is very absent from my social media.
Mine too.
And I know a big part of my brand is me because I am my business, so I just want to post more me.
Yep, that's a good one. I should need to do that too. I even just in your last nail appointment was like shooting B-roll to be like, oh, I should just do this and have my face in there. So
yeah, I need to get better at setting up my camera just at different angles as I'm doing lash sets on people. And then I was talking to one of my friends, Max, who does watch this, and I appreciate him for that. And he was telling me that I should see if a couple of my clients wouldn't mind getting mic'd up with me, and we could like record our conversations, and that just shows like the kind of conversations we have when you're in my studio, and that might be more inviting to some people. So if any of my clients are listening and you're open to being mic'd up, obviously I'll cancel out anything private, but I thought that sounded like a fun idea.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah, so just making my page A, more consistent, but B, more me.
Yeah, the way that I ended up being able to post more on my story and being more on my Instagram was basically abandoning my personal Instagram
That's fair.
and doing more on my business Instagram. So even if like I see like a quote that I really like, because I see sometimes you post those too, that's just like what I think some people might like need to hear, then I like post that to my business story and like, or just like funny little business memes and things like that I see in like reels and stuff. But yeah, I realized like when my friends message me on Instagram, they all only message me through my business Instagram. Even when I was on vacation and I was sending things through my personal Instagram, the minute I went back to my business one, they were doing it on that one too. So
yeah, I just need to become more me on my business account. I think I get so hung up between professional and personal, and I forget they can kind of mix when you are your business. Yeah, so that's one of my big goals for this year.
Yeah, those are good goals.
There's a lot. I feel like a lot of them are just small, like more building habits.
Yeah.
The harder ones are going to be networking events are tricky for me. I did my first one and I handed out 6 business cards, and I have got 2 new clients that booked this past week. But I don't know if they're from that event. So I guess I'll find out.
Yeah.
When they come in.
Is there a place when they book with you on Gloss Genius that you can put like, where did you hear from me? And people
Yeah, I just haven't looked at it yet.
Oh, okay.
I think it doesn't even show me that until the day of their appointment though.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because I just booked my haircut with Jayla. Shout out. And hers had a little space for that. And I was like, oh yeah, because I had to put that on my, or not had to, I put that on my wait list form. So I could see where you guys find me.
Yeah, it's always nice to know where you're coming from.
Right.
So filling in that box helps us a lot because then we know what's working and what's not working.
Yep. Even if it's just from like another client, or I've had a couple people from like some of my Facebook groups, like knowing which group you came from also
really
helps, because sometimes it's because somebody else tagged me, but maybe they didn't know my books were closed or like things like that. So
yeah,
definitely good.
Okay, well then we'll dive into personal so that we're both talking.
Yeah. So my personal goals are to work out and stretch more, because I'm super inconsistent with that, and I go through phases where I like work out every day for a week, and then I work out like 3 times a week for 3 weeks, and then I don't work out at all for like a month. So I want to get more into that. And stretching when I get home from work, I need to get back into that too, because sitting all day, my hips get so tight, and my back and like my shoulders, and like I'm trying to sit straight, and then I come home and like all that kind of stuff. So trying to do more of that. Yeah, and being more consistent with like moving. I feel like we sit so much that we don't like move.
No, that's definitely the biggest problem with my job. And that's one of my pet peeves is leg day is the worst day for me, because I'll go to the gym, I'll work out my legs, and then I'm sat all day. So I get up at the end of my work day, and when oh my gosh, my legs hurt so bad. And it doesn't matter that I like stretch for 10 to 20 minutes after my leg day, because I've been sat for 6 hours straight.
Sitting.
Yeah.
One of my clients was actually just telling me about, she runs, and she was saying something like, oh, they do those Disney marathons. I mean, she doesn't do the marathon, but like they have those, and that when she does do her half marathons, it's nice that she they walk around the park after, because then like on the few times where they would go back to their hotel room and just like lay down, they would be so sore and like not be able to get up, versus like the light walking of going around Disney. So yeah. And my thing is even just working out after work, because I definitely am not a morning person, so I cannot get up. But I do want to try and fit it in after work, because I feel like the minute I walk through my door, like to come home, I'm just like, and lay down.
That's the end of the day.
I'm done. So I'm trying to be better about that.
No, I'm definitely more of a morning person, and I feel like my day is better if I get up and I go to the gym first. But complementing that, I'm a heavy gym girl. It's like the number one thing that brings me happiness. And if anybody has noticed over the past 3.5 months, I kind of let it slip away. So one of my goals is to consistently go to the gym a minimum of 5 times a week. I'm currently on day 10 in a row, so I'm feeling good. For anybody nervous about that, I have a 7-day split. I do something different every day. I'm not overworking anything because I know people get stressed out when I tell them I go every day, but I'm doing something different every day.
Yeah, that's how my little brother is he goes every single day, but he does kind of like how you said, like legs and then arms and then core and shoulders or whatever.
Yeah, so I have a 7-day split, and then complementing your stretching, I want to get to being able to do the splits, which I'm already fairly close. So I'm hoping by the end of January, I will have achieved that goal.
Yeah, I realized watching, I've been watching season 16 of RuPaul's Drag Race. That's been my after work show. That some of those people are so flexible, and I was like, okay, if a drag queen can do it, I should be able to do it. Like, I need to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's all about just stretching intentionally. So I don't want them to take TikTok away because I feel like you can get a lot of beneficial information on TikTok if you know what you're looking for. But I just I looked up on TikTok video specific stretches to do to get your split. So I have a folder of probably 6 videos that consistently have the same stretches in them because it's really like canceling out.
Because last year my goal, which I did not achieve, was to do that one where you're standing and you can do your legs straight. Because I used to be able to do that and I can't anymore. So I should look and
just Googling
figure out what specific stretches those are.
Yeah, and I think one of the videos is get your split in 30 days, and I kind of laughed, but I've been doing it I'm on day 11. I've been doing it for 11 days now, and I'm not far off. So I'm thinking by day 30 I should be there.
Death dropping in no time.
Fingers crossed.
From my RuPaul Drag Race
Well, one of the reasons I want to get it done is for country dancing, so that I can do the split drops. Because I had a guy ask me, June or July of last year, and he was like, can you do the splits? And I was like, not all the way. We can kind of.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the reasons it's a goal of mine.
Yep. It's good to, even if you don't like working out, I feel like it's good to do something either before or after you go to work, just because, again, we sit so much.
Yeah, depending on my schedule today, it doesn't fit in. Thankful for my parents, but I always try to walk my dog after work too, to get out afterwards since I'm sad all day. But complementing those things as well, I really want to get back to drinking 80 ounces of water a day since I do work out so intensely. And I kind of fallen off. And then this is very subjective and not everybody likes doing this, but I love tracking calories, especially because I work out all the time. I like knowing what macros I'm taking in. And I did I had a nutritionist for 3 months last year, and that was based off of how much I was working out then. So I kind of just always revert back to that. And I think I want to get back to that because that made me feel better. Yeah. And then I was eating with more intention. I think my overarching goal of 2025 is doing things with intention.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of like all of mine are pretty much like being consistent.
Yeah, it's just like intention.
Being consistent, because it helps me because I boredom eat a lot, and so it helps me if I can like visually see like you're not starving, you've eaten all day. Like, what are you doing? So also before the holidays, I was being really good about that, and then all the holidays happen, and the holidays always ruin everything for me because I'm like, it's fine. I don't need to do that. I think they
catch a lot of people off guard because you want to be able to enjoy the like holiday dinners and the desserts and all the chocolates. And it's like, it's not bad to have that, but it's just like you should maybe have that for like a week. Well, not like, the whole, because I slip into like the whole of December is one big cheat month. And that's not how it should be.
Yeah, and I intermittent fast. And so with the holidays, we went from having like, even just Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it was like Christmas Eve dinner was later than when I should have eaten because we were like opening gifts and like going out and doing things. And so then the next day we did Christmas Day brunch, which means that I didn't wait long enough so trying to get back into it. And the fact that like 1 week can throw you off so much, it's like all my work.
Well, that's how I felt when I ended up, because the Vasa app is so rude and it tells you like how many days it's been since you last checked in. And between like I want to say mid-September to, I guess it must have been like the end of November, beginning of December, it said I took 56 days off. I was like, oh, I feel attacked. But that's because after I take a week off, it gives me, like, it takes forever for me to get the motivation to go back.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to be consistent because my next goal was organizing my posts to where I'm posting kind of similar content on the same days every week now that I've gotten down like
Okay.
posting. So I recently took a
See,
class.
that's a business goal.
Right, that's okay. That's a business goal. It feels personal because I'm like just trying to like incorporate it into my like outside of business schedule, I guess.
Oh, that's fine.
So I took a social media class, and she was saying how like if you like maybe on Wednesdays you're posting like educational content, and then Mondays you're posting like service you've done, and Saturdays you're posting like fun facts or whatever. And so I started a new thing on my Instagram called um Wednesday Nail Wisdom. So once a month, I'm even just starting with once a month. I have some like fun fact or like something that like maybe I don't think a lot of people know. For either taking care of their nails or different services I offer. So I'm gonna start doing that like once a month on Wednesdays, and then yeah, just kind of organizing like, oh, if I'm do like B-roll content, then that's
Yeah.
gonna be on this day, and then if I do that, so that way it's more like, I guess it makes people like you more. I don't know. That's what
I
she
guess that means they know what they're expecting on
right.
that day.
And like I think too, she was saying like some people then expect like, oh, I should check her Instagram because it's the first of the
Yeah.
month and she always posts this thing that I really like on the first of the month. So trying to do that. And then now that we have this podcast, I'm trying to also figure out what Instagram is up to because starting with an account that has 0 followers, it doesn't let you do anything. Because I posted, I think we had 8 posts, it finally let me see what songs are trending.
Okay.
Because I kept being like, why won't it show me? And then today when I was posting or looking at figuring out stuff, it was like, oh, trending songs. And I was like, well, I guess it's because we have 8 posts now. I don't know.
This is kind of like a sidetrack, but do you have your business account set up as a business account or a content creator?
Mine's a creator. Creator and business are basically the same.
No, they have different sounds. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, so business is more limited.
Yeah.
Which is why I switched to creator. And the only reason I was a business to begin with was because that's what I thought I needed to do. But creator, like business, like seems more like if you were going to be like a retail store is what you would use like business for, because creator lets you have more trending sounds. It lets you, the insights are different, I think. Not drastically, like I think it's like one extra like demographic you get to see maybe or something. And then what was the other thing?
Because I've heard the debate about it, and I've kept mine as a business account. But the more I think about it, I think I need to switch it to a creator.
So business account, I think, I don't have my phone on me, but I think business account lets you put your address in your bio as a separate link.
Yeah.
And creators don't. So but you could put it in your bio if you have the characters for it.
That's true.
Or you could put a link when people click on like I have a link tree.
Yeah.
So if people go on my link tree, it has like my website and my this and my that. So like it just kind of depends on like if you feel like you get a lot of clients because you have your link on your Instagram to your destination, then maybe you would keep it that way. But I even just tried to.
If you just put Lone Tree Colorado in my bio, that's enough information for them to know. And that's what mine says. It's just Parker.
Because I actually was trying to do a collaboration post where I like tagged your business as a collaborator, but the sound that I used in the background, it said you didn't have access to.
There you go.
So I just tagged you normally.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look in. There's one of my goals.
Because it's really not that big of a difference. That's why I ended up switching to creator, because I was like, oh, well, does creator show me like demographics I don't need? Like if somebody's viewing me in a different country, like I don't need to know that. But it's pretty much the same, except you get more sounds and something about branding too. Like if you work with a brand that's like pretty strict about copyright and things, then I think the business one maybe protects, like helps with that too, because it takes away a lot of those musics and sounds that like
that's fair.
aren't, I don't know, something like that. But I did our podcast one as creator because we're not a business.
We're not a business. That's fair.
But that's why it's like it's weird that like it's still not letting us use the schedule option. I can do it
because you still have that as a creator.
Right.
With yours.
Yeah. And it's so weird because like we're going totally off track, but as usual. But like it was like, oh, you have to connect it to a business Facebook page. Okay, I did that. And then it was like, oh, you have to do there was something else. You have to make sure you have a creator account. Did that, and it's still not letting me. So I don't know if we need like a certain amount of followers before it lets us do that, or just posts since the already unlocked the trending thing. I guess we'll find out. You guys better follow us so I can see if we need 100 followers before it lets us schedule things.
In hindsight, that's not completely off track. Those are relevant for what we're aiming to do in 2025. Right. I guess like another personal goal for me is these two kind of go hand in hand. One is to surround myself with people who motivate me and have the same drive, because a lot of the people, no offense if any of these people are listening, a lot of the people I surrounded myself with last year did not have the same drive or the same motives or just the same passion for life that I feel like I have. And when you surround yourself with people that aren't on the same wavelengths, they drag you down and they hold you back. And like, it sucks to say that, but it's just true. If you want to succeed and like you have big goals, you need people that also have big goals and want to succeed in life. You don't need, no offense, the dead weight.
Yeah.
Because I think like there's a balance with all of it. Like, it's normal for people to complain, and like I'm a complainer. You can ask Emma. But I'm a complainer who is actively doing things to change those things. Yeah. And like, I think it's normal to complain about things when they're not working out, when you're working towards them. But I'm tired of surrounding myself with people that complain to complain
and don't fix it.
Yeah, because if you're not trying to do anything to change what you're complaining about, I'm sorry, but you don't have a right to complain about it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not trying to get out of that situation. You're not trying to improve. So why are you complaining? Like, you need to accept it if you're not going to change it.
I also had friends like that in the past. And now having friends who like, because again, like, friends should be able to complain to other friends about their problems. Like, there shouldn't be this like, well, I don't want to tell her because I feel like whatever. But if I keep hearing the same thing from you, especially if like you're coming to me from an advice standpoint, like, this keeps happening, and I go, hey, you should do this, and they're just like,
yeah.
Then I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? Like, you're not gonna fix anything. It's like that in businesses too. Like, if I'm talking to someone and they're like, oh, I don't have enough clients, and oh, I'm not doing this thing, and then I'm like, oh, you should work more than 1 day a week.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, nah. Then I'm like, well, you're not gonna
so I just want to surround myself with people that like want to change and get out of their patterns, want to grow, because that's what I want to do, and it's a lot easier to do that when you're surrounded with people with the same mindset. So and then hand in hand with that is I want to date and make friends intentionally, which complements the surrounding myself with people who motivate me.
Yeah. How do you date intentionally? Just like with a purpose.
So my thing, it's so funny. I've been asked to speak so I'm a part of a Christian group called The Brook, and Molly kept asking me for a while to do a video on that about how I figure out who I want to be friends with, because I actually have a system. And it came from my therapist on how I date. So I am really bad at dating the wrong people. You can ask anybody in my life. I don't have a good track record. It's ugly. But to help with dating, she had me make a list of non-negotiables. So there's like the non-negotiables, the things that don't really matter, and then the things, oh my gosh, I'm wording this so wrong. My bad, guys. There's this, I'm just going to say it this way. There's like must-haves, things that are like a maybe depending on the situation, and then things that like don't matter at all. And I've kind of started applying that to my friendships as well. So, I mean, just like the surround people who motivate me, like, I want to date people that have a goal and a purpose in life. I want to be friends with people that have a goal and purpose in life. I don't want to date a man with, so this one's like give or take. I don't want to date a man with a kid if the co-parenting situation is rough. So there might be exceptions to that. So that one's kind of a maybe. I want to date a man with a steady job. Or if he's trying to build a business, like, that's fine too, because like I'm a business owner too. Yeah, just ambition and drive. I'm trying to think what else is in there. If they're, no offense, if they've struggled with alcoholism or addiction, it's a no-go for me. If anybody knows me, they know why. That can be a separate episode. So that's a thing. If they've ever been to jail or prison, that's a no-go. If they
Yeah.
have a DUI or a DWI, depending on what it was and how recent it was, like that's a no-go. Just like dating with intention, like figuring out their personality meshing with mine, and like if if one of my like must-haves they don't have, or if something that's a complete non-negotiable they have it, I need to learn to step away immediately.
Yeah.
And that goes with friends too,
Yeah.
because like I believe that everybody can change and everybody can grow, but as I just said, that's so not true. There are people that just don't have a desire to
They
change
don't
and
want to
grow.
change and grow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like to see the good in everybody, and unfortunately there's
Yeah.
not always the good in everybody, and I
Yeah.
just need to, like, this year I need to learn to accept what I see and
Mhm.
step away if it's not what I want.
And you're saying this, and it's like something I did similarly when I got out of the last relationship before I was in this one, which was like I wanted someone to have the same, like, big core, like, core values, I guess. So, like,
Yeah.
I didn't want someone who was a big stoner or loved to go out to clubs, because I'm just not a
Yeah.
stoner and like to go out to clubs. And I wanted someone who was like okay with staying in, but also good with going out, because that's another thing that, like, and then just like the big things, like same views on like religion and politics and like all that kind of stuff. Because I was kind of doing the same thing where I'd be like, oh, well, we get along in this area and this is great, but like he complains all the time I want to stay in, even though I just can't like go all the time.
Yeah.
Or like I want to go out and they never want to, or all they want to do is like stay home and get high, and I don't want to do that
Yeah,
either.
no.
So
Yeah, and we could do a
Yeah.
whole episode on that too, because I have so much insight on it.
it's boundaries in
After-
another way. We love boundaries. We love boundaries here.
After like the friends and the like dating experiences I've had in the past, I feel like I've learned so much about that and how
Yeah.
to like figure out who is right and wrong for you.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference on how you are doing, especially like for people who do struggle with mental illness. I just feel like it makes a huge
Yeah.
difference to be aware of who you're surrounding yourself with and how you're deciding who you're surrounding yourself
Yeah.
with.
And it's so different than like, because I feel like it being in our 20s, like even like mid 20s, like we're still figuring out who we are and where we want to be. And like we all had these goals, you know, our wedding Pinterest boards in high school and stuff. And now I look at that and I'm like, wow, I was delusional. I really thought
Yeah.
I was going to do that, huh?
I thought I'd be married by 25. I turned 25 in April, and unless something rapidly changes in the next 3 months, it's just not going
Which
to happen.
I think we would all question if you got immediately married like before your birthday. We'd be like, wow.
I said married by 25, so it could happen within like the next year and 3 months.
That's true. So it's really by next April.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I guess married at 25.
Yeah. That does kind of feed into what I was saying though, like the making friends intentionally is like I have my intentionally made friends now and I want to plan more events with them, and I have kind of 2/3 separate friend groups right now, and I'm like, even if it's just with like, you know, going to dinner with one friend group and having
Yeah.
a night in with another, but like something kind of every month to look forward to, because I do get into this like work, sleep,
Yeah.
sleep. So having like events to go to, I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, like we did spooky girls night for Halloween, and then we did cozy pajama white elephant for the holidays, and just having that was like so fun. And I love to host. I'm a big like let me host a dinner party, and so I'm like, once, especially because one of my other goals is to actually move out this year
Yeah.
and get my own apartment. So exciting. That I'll be able to do that more, because I can just have people at the house. So yeah, I want to do more social things. It's really easy to get stuck in that working rut.
Yeah, I want to get back. I go dancing regularly, and I kind of fell out of that within the last month or so of last year. A lot of my habits went away at the end of last year, which probably was very noticeable with my friends, because I feel like I change a lot when I'm not doing what makes me happy. So 2 of my things kind of go under that umbrella, and one of them is filling my schedule with what makes me happy. So like going to the gym, going dancing, hanging out with my friends. There's more than that, I hope. But those are the top. Oh, reading, my Bible study, like those top 5 things are like the top 5 that come to mind. And then I want to enter a country dancing competition this year, and not
That would be so. You would be so good at that.
possibly more than one. I don't know. I was
That'd be so
talking to
fun.
one of my guy friends Thursday night about possibly partnering up for a competition, and then if not partner, I'd do line dancing. But yeah,
Cool. That's gonna be so cool.
because I looked at them last year, and it's crazy. I was talking to a guy on Wednesday night when I was out dancing, and he was like, "How long have you been coming here?" And I was like, "Oh, since February." And he was like, "So a year?" And I was like, "I guess." So I guess I've been dancing for a year now, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. And until he said that and put it that way, I didn't realize that I'd been going for a year.
Yeah.
So
The years
I feel
fly
like-
by. It's crazy.
Yeah, last year went by exceedingly fast. This year seems to be dragging.
I feel like January kind of does every year, though.
That's fair.
I feel like once we hit that, like, honestly, like March, because I think, like, the days sort of get weird after the holidays, and then we're settling
Yeah.
back into, like, our goals and our wishes and things, and then by March, it's like, because I even get busier in March because people are, like,
Yeah,
getting back to their
schedule.
regular schedule.
Yeah. So since I've been dancing for a year, I feel like it's about time I enter a competition.
Yeah, that's so fun.
And then I want to take more videos and pictures with friends and family.
I'm really bad about that.
Yeah, and well, it's like after everything I've been through, I keep telling myself I'm going to prioritize it
Mm-hmm.
because it makes a huge difference having those. And I understand the wanting to live in the moment. I do.
I
But
think
there's
there's a
also
balance.
having the memory.
I think it's a balance, just like everything we talk about. There's always
Yeah.
like that balance of, because even just with like the stuff that I'm trying to fit into my schedule, I'm trying to also pull back from social media, even though some of my goals are to be more involved in social media.
Yeah, it's a hard
Just because I
balance.
find myself like, I do love TikTok for the same reasons you were saying. Like, if I need to look up, like, I get a ton of recipes from there. It's great.
It's a really good resource.
It's so great.
As long as you're intelligent and you know to weed out
That's
the
the
things
key.
that aren't credible.
Intelligent.
It's the key with all social media. You
Yeah.
have to know what's like not a reliable source.
But I do want to stop like kind of that, like, oh, I'm on my phone and now I'm on TikTok and I'm just scrolling and scrolling and
yeah.
scrolling, or I'm on Instagram and I scroll and scroll and scroll. So I'm trying to do that, and then my boyfriend is very in the moment. Like, he is not a picture taking person, which is great because it really does like let us live. Like, we are like
Yeah.
enjoying each other's company, and I'm glad he's not on his phone all the time. But then when I go to like, I have family, all my family lives in a different state, and so every couple months I try to do like this is what happened in my life this month. And when I go to do that, and I'm like, I have one picture and it's of this tree that I thought looked cool, and so I'm trying to like just take pictures of like the environment or like things that I'm like, oh, that's kind of pretty. Like the table that's in front of us. It was a disaster after New Year's, and I was like, cute, snap. And I was like, in that way I just have like that memory of how fun New Year's was.
yeah.
So that's a good goal too. I need to like write it down. I wish I didn't spill. So New Year's we did, we printed out, my friend actually, she printed out 2025 bingo cards that were blank, and you were supposed to fill in each box with a goal that you wanted to achieve for the year. And you like scatter them around, and some are big and some are small. And then throughout the year, you like try to get bingo.
Yeah.
And then and by the end of the year, you like try to get your full
Black
card.
out, yeah.
And so we were filling those out, and I spilled a drink on mine. So I never went back and did it. But every now and then I'm like, oh, I should like do a craft or color. And I'm like, I should print out another one and like do it. And so I can fill out all my goals. So
Yeah, my friend Erica and I did a vision board. So similar idea.
yeah, similar thing. Just something
Yeah.
to like look at and remind yourself like,
What you want to
oh
achieve.
yeah, you were going to do that. Because I recently got, which you've had this for forever, but I recently got that Finch self-care bird app.
It's the best. I swear by it.
No, not sponsored yet.
Not yet.
But that even just helps me with like little things. Like, I'm really bad at washing my face before I go to bed. Like, I'll wash it in the morning, but I won't do it before I go to bed. And so now I don't check off the little thing until it's before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Because I like go through to check everything off, and I'm like, oh yeah, wash my face. I need to go do that right now.
Yeah.
So having
I love
something
that app.
visual is great.
Yeah.
You should. Well, maybe I'll put my link in there. I only have Jade as a friend on my little tree.
You get Erica to add you.
So if you want to be
Or
my friend,
mom.
yeah,
She's your client. She has it.
if you want to be my Finch friend, maybe I'll try to remember to put it in the description.
Yeah, we can put our links in there.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, I do recommend it. It does really help. And kind of going hand in hand with one of my things that's on Finch is to journal every day. And I don't mean like do a long journal entry, because sometimes I don't have that in me. And what I've started doing, which I kind of frown upon myself for it, because I'm a big get off my phone before I go to bed girl. But sometimes I just want to turn the light off. I don't want to sit and like pen and paper it. So I've actually started using, Apple has a journal app that's like a default download on the iPhones now. I've actually started using it and I love it, because sometimes I just put one sentence in, or I don't think, okay, actually so far this year I haven't put one sentence. I'll just like write down everything I did that day so I can like maybe go back and reflect upon it when I have more time later. But I always write down everything I did. And then it has a little section in it where you can like say how content you are, from like completely discontent up to the most content. And then you can select what's made you feel that way. So I have like my emotions from the day and what was driving it. I have like what I did that day, and then you can attach pictures and videos to it.
Oh, that's cool. Because I was going to say, like, that Finchbird app, it has kind of a similar thing where it'll be like, what made you happy today? Or it says connecting with your emotions, and you can put, like, how do you feel right now? And then it has you, like, kind of label in, like, a detailed version to where you get to, like, satisfied or whatever. And then it'll have you, like, put, oh, you know, what was the one yesterday? It was, like, what thing did you accomplish today that made you most happy or something? And it's like I just put like went to work, like oh, I did that. So it doesn't ever have to be anything big either.
Yeah, but I like the Apple one, the journal, because you can connect photos and videos. So that's, in a way, it's complementing the like take more videos and pictures.
That's cute.
Because if I get to the end of the day and I'm like filling it out and I'm like, I don't have any pictures or any videos from any of the things I did today. So that one's just helping with both intentions. And since it's on my phone, it means I can do it literally anywhere instead of having to worry about carrying my journal with me. So far it's helping, and I've managed to journal every single day this year.
Nice.
Which has been a huge improvement, because normally there's already been one slip up at this point on day 11 of the year. But nonetheless, I'm sure everybody feels the same.
I know. Crazy. What other goals do you have down? I only have one left.
I have two more. Both of them kind of fall personal/business. One of them is to complete my digital marketing certificate that I'm doing by March would be ideal. And then my goal with that is to use it to boost my business and my own ability to digital market my business. But also I kind of want to get a side hustle doing digital marketing for somebody else, just because it's something you can do from your phone and your computer anywhere. And I love what I do. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing, but if I did want to take a step back for 2 to 3 months and I had a digital marketing side
fall
quest,
back on. I've been also thinking about that, because I think I screenshotted what classes you were taking, because I've taken some marketing classes, and I feel like they haven't really told me anything like I haven't known, so I'm always like taking more and more.
At the end of this one, they have you design your whole resume. They have you do a whole. It's funny because
yours seems way more like this is going to be a job one versus like
so
how
at
to
the
up
end it
your
sets you
reach.
up with, you do like 1 or 2 mock interviews at the end of this, and it sets you up with interviews for jobs. So I'm actually very excited to reach the end of it.
Do you feel like you're learning a lot?
Oh, so much. I don't have it with me. I have a binder full of notes. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, well, nobody could say I'm not attentive.
Maybe that'll be my mid-year.
So
I'm waiting until my mid-year to like do any purchases that aren't necessary for the year this year, just because we are trying to move out. So maybe that'll be my mid-year thing.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm looking forward to using it for my business, but also for a side hustle.
Yeah,
because I'm like, what's really beneficial with what I do is I already kind of have a portfolio for people to look at if they look at my business page, because it's like, well, I did all this.
Right.
So like clearly I know how to use Canva, and I have some idea of how to like post on Instagram and do captions and hashtags.
Now we have this
everything.
podcast Instagram too.
Mm-hmm.
I screenshotted it when I don't know if it was fresh, but before we started getting a bunch of followers, just so I could be like, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for you to critique my marketing skills.
Yeah, I was trying to Google my business yesterday, and like if you Google my business name, I am the top one that comes up, which is a relief. But if you like kind of look up other things, it's kind of hard to find my business. So I really need to go into like looking up my like search engine prioritizations and like where I'm landing and like what's affecting
like
it.
the SEO
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so that's one of my things, is to complete that. And then my last one is I want to kind of become my brand. Like, I love my branding colors and everything that my digital marketer that I currently have designed for me. So I want to start dressing more in my branding colors. And like,
I remember at one point you said you were going to get it tattooed on you too, on like
my
your
logo, and I still
Yeah.
want to do that. The whole reason I bailed on that tattoo, and I feel so bad, I don't think she'll ever see this, is because I got invited to go to the Grizzly Rose that night. Ironically, that was my first time ever going to the Grizzly Rose, and it started a whole passion for me. So I think I made the right decision.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because if I hadn't gone to the Grizzly Rose that night, who knows if I like would have ever gone. So I think it was the right call, and it led to this amazing passion for me.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I do want to get that at some point. I actually have a tattoo artist who said she might be interested in trading, so I might message her.
We
about
love trading. I
Yep.
love trading. So great. My last one was just like moving out and finally settling into an apartment. We're going to start doing that in April. I'm so
so
excited. It's so hard because I don't know if anyone else in Colorado feels this way besides my friends, because I talk to them about it all the time. But I feel like it's so hard to move out on your own because of how expensive things are. And so the fact that like I feel so blessed. I hope I don't cry actually saying this. I feel so blessed that my business has, oh my gosh, I am gonna cry. Has given me like the opportunity to like do what I love. And be able to like move out this year. So I'm trying not to cry. Oh my god.
You are crying.
I am crying.
For anybody who's just listening and not watching, Emma is crying.
But yeah, because I didn't think like it would happen this fast. Like I kind of was like predicting that it was gonna be like, oh, I'm 30 and I'm finally moving out of my parents' house. I mean, my parents were gonna like turn the basement into an apartment so I could have more space. And so the fact that I get to do that this year is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
And I can't wait for you guys to see it, because hopefully that's where we're going to film stuff when it's not at your new studio.
I was gonna say, we can probably switch back and forth too and
Yeah.
do different, because it'll be different backdrops. It'll be nice.
Different things.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. I think that's all of our
Yeah,
goals.
I think that's all our goals. So I have, oh gosh, about 10 of each, maybe 8 of each. It's a long list I'm looking at, but I told you all of them. I guess we can probably do like a little update video in like June, halfway through the year.
Yeah, that midway point, we'll probably
we'll do
try
a
and come back and
reflection.
see if we're like, we've done so much or whatever. And we'd love to hear if you guys have any goals for your business or your personal life, what you're trying to achieve this year. Even if you don't think you're going to do it, we always like to see everyone different. And again, it always makes us, maybe we'll be like, oh my gosh, that's such a good goal. I should do that too.
Add to our list. I mean, it's
So-
always good, like, even if you do feel like it's impossible, it's really good to speak it out.
Yeah.
Because just by speaking it out, you've made it
It's
a
like
little bit more possible.
manifesting.
Yeah, it's just like one more step towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So comment your goals. Start thinking about your goals, because I know some people don't do yearly goals, and I swear it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and also even if it's not like in that resolution way, like, oh, by the end of the year, but just like something that you even want to achieve next week or anything like that too. So
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave you some inspiration for maybe some of your goals, or it was just motivating in some way, shape, or form. If you guys have any like questions or want specifics on any of our goals, and like you want more of a deep dive into how we plan on doing them, like step by step, or why it's a goal, be more than happy to answer any questions either in the comments or in another episode if we feel like it needs an episode. But yeah.
So we'll put all of our links to everything in the description, where you can find us on social media, our business social medias, the podcast social media. I'll try to remember to put the little Finchbird ones in there if you guys want to be friends on there. I also am doing Duolingo. That's not a goal because I started it last year, but I can put that in there too, because it's fun to have like my 3 friends that I have on there now. It's fun to like kind of high five each other on our goals and stuff. So we'll put all of that in the description, and
thank you to everybody who's been supporting us so far and continues to support us. And we are always open to feedback, since we are still very new at this.
We are very new at this.
So thank you. We hope you have a great day.
And we'll see you later.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.